Hi again, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the North Dakota Varsity Sports Update. I'm Jody Norstedt. The B is in the books, and it's only fitting that the final state tournament of the winter season needed overtime in the championship game. Apparently, we just can't get enough of winter around here. Before we relive the championship, though, let's take a look at how the bracket ended up. Now, Shiloh Christian rode Macaulay Young's big 17-18 rebound effort to a quarterfinal win over Beulah 54-46. That set up a semifinal showdown with Richland, who overcame a 7-point deficit in the final 4 minutes to edge Powers Lake 65-63, another close game. Top-seeded Thompson led wire to wire in its quarterfinal victory over Ellendale, thanks to Caden Schwabe's 23 points and Hayden Overby's 14. Then it was the senior duo of Ben Bull and Mason Hedberg combining for 50 points and 27 boards to help Bishop Ryan knock out New Rockford-Sheyenne in the nightcap. The Skyhawks then took care of Richland in the semifinal round 64-51 thanks to 14 three-pointers for the team and 25 more boards from Young. Thompson's trip to the championship didn't come as easy. The Tommies needed overtime to beat Bishop Ryan. Bull and Hedberg each scored 23 for the Lions, but it was the combination of Schwabe and Overby getting it done in the 68-65 win. Schwabe hit some critical free throws at the end of overtime to seal it up. So that set up a state championship of two teams that had never played for the B crown, Shiloh Christian and Thompson. For the Skyhawks, they've been a rock-solid program year after year. They played some really tough opponents in the regular season, and it paid off with them, of course, getting to the championship. Jaden Mitzel and Macaulay Young have been their top two scorers all season. Mitzel averaging 19 points and 8 boards a game, and Young putting up a double-double pretty much every night. But Thompson has been ranked at the top of Class B pretty much all year. They only had one blemish on the record, and that was a 1-point loss to Larimore. And that's after playing through the gauntlet of Region 2 with Hillsborough, Central Valley, and Grafton. The Tommies entered state with 5 players averaging 7 or more points per game. They also had a roster with a ton of players that had just won the state football championship in the fall. Would Shiloh keep up its hot shooting, or would Thompson put the clamps down and win with their experience? Here's a look back at the championship. There's nothing quite like the atmosphere at the B. The lights, the smoke machines, all setting the stage for what turned out to be an instant classic between Thompson and Shiloh Christian. The Skyhawks have an advantage that not many do at the Class B level, that being a 6'9" post player. Macaulay Young gets his own rebound and converts. That was the start of another big night for him. Caden Schwabe topped 20 points in the first 2 games at state and showed no signs of slowing down. He gets the slow roller to go. Then after a loose ball, he shows some of his scrambling moves from the football field on his way to the cup. That ties the game at 9 apiece. Marcus Hughes is one of those gritty players for Thompson. He shows no fear going against the 6'9" Young. Shiloh answers right back. Jaden Mitzel didn't have his best scoring night, but he's going to be dangerous next year as a senior. That's 2 of his 6 points. Game tied again. Back to the football analogies. Schwabe fires a bullet to Hughes for 2 more. Hughes met his average with 10 points. Moments later, check out this take by Overby. He might be 6'6", but he is silky smooth. Overby might have been one of the most underrated players in the state this year. Chance Danner is another big that can score for Thompson. He does the damage in the paint with Young on the bench in foul trouble. They're up 25-17, but just before the halftime horn, Josh Lardy swings the pendulum back to Shiloh, beating the buzzer with the triple. It's 25-20 Thompson at the break. Third quarter, Young was rested and ready. He scores with ease, and the Skyhawks put together a run. Trey Brunel, 3-pointer, good, but that was the problem. Shiloh only hit 2 triples compared to 14 in the semi. Young started to take over in the third. He had 11 of the 15 field goal attempts for the Skyhawks in the third, scoring 12 points, and he ended up with a team-high 25. Shiloh took a 37-35 lead going into the fourth. Brandy George trying to come up with the right adjustments. This helps. Schwabe hits the Tommies' lone 3 of the game, but it's a big one, putting them up 38-37. Next time down, Schwabe gives it another try. This time no good, but Overby grabs the rebound from a pair of Skyhawks and gets it to go. Every basket was so critical at this point. Kane and Fagerlund going coast to coast gives Shiloh a 43-42 lead with 3.5 to play. Final seconds of regulation. Game tied at 45. Schwabe looking for the win, but the three-pointer is off the mark, and we're heading to overtime. Big story to start the extra session. Young fouls Hughes on the three-point attempt. That means 3 free throws, but perhaps more importantly, Young fouls out and heads to the bench with those 25 points, 15 boards, and 4 blocks. Hughes hits all 3, and the Tommies take a 48-45 lead. Other players need to step up for the Skyhawks. Brunel's jumper gets Shiloh back within 1, but those were the first and only points of overtime for the Skyhawks. Overby takes over down the stretch for the boys in green. Here he attacks and scores. He did that a lot, finishing with 21 points and 10 boards. Thompson pulls away for the 57-47 overtime win and let the court storming commence as the Tommies win it all in their first ever state tournament appearance.
It's definitely a lot of stress with it, but I'm just so proud of our guys, how we fought through it. Now look where we are. We're champions, making history.
Our coaches do a good job keeping us calm in the huddles. We knew that they're going to go on runs, we're going to go on runs, and you know, they're two very good teams, and we just had to stay calm and play our game.
You know, last night they made 14 threes, and you're not going to beat many teams if they make 14 three-pointers. So, you know, McCauley looks at us, but he's going to. He's a big guy, and he scored some buckets on us. But I thought Chance really battled him, and I thought he made some of his touches tough, especially in that third quarter, or the end of the third and into the fourth quarter. So we talked about it. You know, you got to take it at him, and when he gets 3 or 4 fouls, you can't shy away from it. And you know, you can't be scared to hit those gaps. And our kids they're warriors. They're fearless, and I'm very proud of them.
Can't say enough about him as a player. He's a great player. He was tough to defend. He definitely had his night, but once we got him into foul trouble, once he fouled out, it really opened things up, and Hayden Overby kind of took over on the inside. So once he got into foul trouble, that really kind of opened things up, and we got more aggressive definitely there. It means everything, honestly. Like I've been saying, this isn't just for our team. It's for coaches, the fans, and all the alumni that's ever put on a Thompson basketball jersey. This is for everyone in the community.
And you know what? First time in school history for this group of kids, it couldn't have happened to a better group of young men. So we're going to enjoy this, and that sign up there right now looks pretty good.
Congrats to the Tommies. The trophy display has to be getting crowded at that school. This year alone, they've won titles in volleyball, football, and now basketball. And remember, a lot of these young men on the basketball team have been part of 2 state football titles, 2 runner-up finishes in baseball the last 2 years, and then a championship 3 years ago. And they'll be the favorites in baseball this spring, too. And speaking of spring, that's what we have next on the docket in our coverage of high school sports. And for a little explanation of what we're going to be able to do with this weather, figured why not just show you. So everyone's wondering, okay, winter sports are done. Pretty exciting, right? We had a lot of fun, a lot of buzzer beaters, small towns winning championships, Kindred, Thompson. And then on the Class A side, we had Century girls showing domination, Jamestown boys. But now, what can you guys do? What can you do when the stakes get a little bit different? In the newest varsity sport of speed shoveling. Let's do it. Okay, this is a terrible shovel for this, and the snow is really frozen. So probably a bad example right now, but make sure to go to your nearest track, nearest baseball field, nearest softball field, and help out because we want spring sports to eventually start. All right, thank you for watching the North Dakota Varsity Sports Update all winter and all fall, and someday we'll have it in the spring too.